everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 5th of February 2024. And to be honest guys, the numbers are not looking good at all. But you need to remember I'm looking at these numbers in the early hours in Dubai and it's Monday still. But technically it's still Sunday in most of the Western countries, and that's one of the reasons why the volume is not looking good. Particularly if you look at the volume of stable coins and decentralized exchanges, the numbers are absolutely scary. But I wouldn't be surprised if these number changes, let's say on Monday or Tuesdays in most of the Western countries. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now guys, in today's episode, I'm going to be discussing some rumor and some news regarding the possibility of the US government closing the Bitcoin mining. Now is that thing possible? I really am not sure guys. And you also need to remember BlackRock is one of the biggest giants getting into Bitcoin game. And if you truly understand the power of BlackRock guys, they are the ones behind the whole ESG movement, isn't it? And a lot of the Bitcoin holders such as MicroStrategy and now the whole spot Bitcoin ETF are directly or indirectly controlled by BlackRock. So it's going to be really interesting to see if the whole narrative changes from proof of work to proof of stake. I really am hoping that thing does not happen. So I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on the news regarding the possibility of the US Department of Energy going after Bitcoin mining. And guys, we have some news all the way from Thailand, and the Thailand Security and Exchange Commission has ordered ZipMax to go ahead and suspend the operations. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss that. And guys, listen, something really unfortunate did actually happen in Binance, and a lot of the sensitive information was actually leaked via GitHub. So I'll definitely go ahead and explore that. And the article, guys, is actually published by a 404 media. So I'd really recommend you to go ahead and check it out. But the positive news is that Binance has successfully removed the data which was leaked. So I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that news. And guys, we also have some news by the US Security and Exchange Commission in US. And they are charging Bitcoin Academy's founder Brian Sewell. Now look guys, this is another crazy stunt. Because what has happened is that the founder of Bitcoin Academy did actually gain a lot of funds from his students. And what he did, he tried to create a fund that did not exist. And he was actually portraying that he is using AI-driven hedge fund strategies to go ahead and get better investments on the returns. Definitely not ideal, isn't it? And guys, roughly around a few months ago, there's a documentary which is released on Netflix called as Bitcoin. So I would definitely go ahead and recommend you guys to go ahead and check it out. So the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency world is absolutely crazy, filled with a lot of scams, isn't it? So we definitely need to make sure that we go ahead and do our own research. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast, I'm going to be discussing two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first news is kind of related to Metaverse. And this is a company I might have covered at least 7 to 8 times, probably more times in my Metaverse Everything podcast. And that company is called as LandVault. And the news is that LandVault, they have appointed a vice president for Metaverse to propel Middle East expansion. So I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that news. And the second news, guys, has to do with artificial intelligence. That has to do with an event taking place later on in the month of February. And that is the 17th Middle East CIO Summit. So essentially the news is that IDC has partnered with EN, which is a TESOLAT, for 17th Middle East CIO Summit as it heralds a new era of artificial intelligence-driven innovation. So if you're someone who's enthusiastic about artificial intelligence, you definitely need to check it out. So quite a lot of cover guys in today's episode. So let's kickstart with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee 88, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and Metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee 88 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee a Day, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE, and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE, and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee a Day aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE, and Middle East region. Now, before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media, guys, is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast, and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red, and Rode. As a matter of fact, guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet, and prosperity. Now listen, guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing, guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so, guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE, so definitely check it out. And also, guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing, and hosting training workshops, seminars, and community events that educate, inform, and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen, guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing. Go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline.
And Ledger offers two hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below.
Now guys, since we've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now as I mentioned earlier guys, the numbers are not looking good at all, and the global cryptocurrency market is only at $1.65 trillion, and since the last 24 hours, the market is down by 0.22%. And guys, I'm looking at the Fear and Greed Index, and I'm looking at it via alternatives.me, I'm looking at it via CoinMarketCap, and at this point of time it is neutral, but I'm pretty much sure based on how the market reacts, let's say on Monday or Tuesday, it could potentially lead towards greed, or it could lead towards fear, so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Now if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume since the last 24 hours, it is only at $31.94 billion, and since the last 24 hours, it is marginally up by 6.73%. If you look at the volume in DeFi guys, it is below the $4 billion mark, and it is at $3.69 billion. Now just a refresher guys, last year the 24-hour volume in DeFi used to be well below the $4 billion mark, certain days even below the $3 billion mark. The only reason why the volume bumped up is because of BlackRock getting into the spot Bitcoin ETF. Other than that, the numbers were looking absolutely horrid for DeFi in 2023, even in 2022 for that matter. But let's see if there is some developments taking place in the world of decentralized finance. Now as of today, decentralized finance is accounting for 11.56% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And guys, if you look at the total value locked, it is at $57.58 billion, with Lido still dominating with $21.75 billion. And guys, if you look at decentralized to centralized exchange dominance, it is at 10.45%. And I've said this thing recently guys, decentralized to centralized exchange dominance usually picks up pace on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So what I think is a lot of centralized exchanges are trying to use decentralized exchanges, and I really am not sure why they are doing that on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Now if you look at the volume of decentralized exchanges guys, the numbers are not great at all. Uniswap's volume, which is at number 1, is $533.75 million. PancakeSwap is at number 2 and its volume is $255.94 million. Orca is at number 3 at $221.80 million. Radium Gas is at number 4 at $209.66 million, and finally Core Finance at $160.68 million. These numbers are ridiculously low, even for a Sunday guys, keeping in mind the global cryptocurrency market volume, and there was positive news last week regarding the FOMC meeting as well. So ideally, even on weekend, this number should have been at least 10 to 20% much more than what it is. Now let me very quickly run through the volume of stable coins guys, because stablecoins volume is only at $26.86 billion, and they are accounting for 84.07% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And out of this $26.86 billion, Tether USDT alone accounts for $21.87 billion. Circle USDC's volume is $2.59 billion, and True USD guys, its volume is $55.7 million. Now look guys, these numbers are definitely not good, considering the fact that we did have positive news regarding the FOMC meeting. Granted, it wasn't the best, because ideally the best news would have been Jerome Powell announcing a reduction in the interest rate hike. That would mean that the economy is doing good, which would mean more funds flowing into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And just few weeks before that, we had the approval of spot Bitcoin ETF as well as in it. So ideally guys, keeping all these factors in mind, the numbers even on a Sunday should have been at least 10 to 20% higher. Those are my honest thoughts. Now if you look at the market cap of Bitcoin guys, it is at $838 billion, whereas Ethereum is $276 billion. The 24-hour trading volume is not looking good for Bitcoin and Ethereum, which just means people are either not buying or selling, which is absolutely terrible to be honest, which just means that people just don't care, isn't it? That is even worse to be honest. Now so far as the 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin is concerned, it is at $14.2 billion, whereas Ethereum is at $5.69 billion. The dominance of Bitcoin has been picking up pace, and as of today it is at 51.18%, whereas Ethereum's dominance has gone down and it is at 16.80%. Now in today's episode, guys, and this week what I'm going to be doing is looking at decentralized apps across different blockchain protocol. So in today's episode, I'll look at, let's say, Ethereum. Tomorrow I might look at Binance BNB chain. Day after EOS and different blockchain protocols. So I'm going to be looking at two things. That is the fiat value of incoming token transfers from unique active wallets to decentralized app smart contract over a period of time for the relevant dApp that is working on, let's say, Ethereum for today. And then, guys, I'm going to be comparing it with the number of unique active wallets interacting or performing transactions with decentralized app smart contract over a period of time. And the second matrix, guys, in some of the top 5 will be in double digits itself, let's say 21 or 31. But this does not mean that those many people are using the smart contracts. What that means is that there are so many smart contracts, and in these smart contracts, there might be hundreds or thousands of people using the smart contract. So let's look at the top 5 decentralized apps or dApps working on Ethereum, and Uniswap version 3 is number 1. In terms of dollar amount, it is at $1.4 billion. In terms of wallet interactions, guys, it is 11,910. Now mind you guys, I'm looking at these numbers via dappradar.com, and you can check it yourself as well. And what it states in dappradar.com over a period of time, and most likely, guys, this should be 24 hours. Now the second most decentralized app working on Ethereum is Uniswap version 2. In terms of dollar amount, it is $93.43 million. And the wallet interactions, guys, is 9,130. The third one is OX Protocol. In terms of dollar amount, it is $9.7 million. In terms of wallet interactions, it is 6,110. The fourth one, guys, is Blur. In terms of dollar amount, it is $21.56 million. And in terms of wallet interactions, it is 5,810. And finally, guys, at number 5th, it's OpenSea. In terms of dollar amount, it is $4.08 million. In terms of wallet interactions, it is 5,510. Now, it's great to see that in the top 5, 2 of them have to do with NFT marketplaces. And last week, guys, I talked about Blur, how they're dominating the NFT marketplaces in it. And the CEO of OpenSea is absolutely open to acquisition as well. So it looks like Blur is definitely kicking some ass so far as NFT marketplace is concerned. Now, guys, before we look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin, what I'm going to be doing today, guys, is I'm going to go ahead and take a deep dive into PancakeSwap because they are definitely in the top 5. And in certain cases, the second most decentralized exchange used, isn't it? So let me go ahead and explain what PancakeSwap is, because the new version, PancakeSwap version 3, has different features. That is capital concentration, lower trading fees, smart routing and positioning manager as well. Now, so far as PancakeSwap is concerned, guys, the PancakeSwap version 3 introduces several key innovators and features to improve capital efficiency, lower fees for traders, increase earning for liquidity providers, and enhance the overall user experience. So let me go ahead and explain each of these points that I mentioned. Now, so far as capital concentration is concerned, liquidity providers can choose specific ranges for their funds instead of spreading them across entire price spectrum. And this enhances efficiency, allowing providers to earn more fees with the same amount of liquidity. And guys, one of the biggest features of PancakeSwap version 3 is lower trading fees, isn't it? And traders can benefit from tiered fees based on the expected volatility of different trading pairs, ranging from 0.01% to 1%, and concentrated liquidity reduces slippage, providing better trading conditions for users. And so far smart routing is concerned, a smart router helps users find the most optimal trading route across various pools, ensuring the best execution for trades. And so far as position manager is concerned, the position manager introduces auto-compounding of rewards, automatically reinvesting fees back into the liquidity pool, and it manages gas fees and positions rebalancing, minimizing the risk of impermanent losses for liquidity providers. Now let me very quickly run through some of the tokenomics of concern, because over 1.69 million cake tokens were burned in strategic move, reducing the total supply by 0.086%, and various mechanisms such as trading fees, development address allocations, NFT minting, and more contribute to continuous token burnings. And guys, the cake's emission rates have been significantly reduced over time, transitioning towards a deflationary model, and the platform allocates fewer cake rewards to farms and pools, curbing inflation. And guys, they also have revenue sharing program, and cake stakers participate in revenue sharing program, receiving a portion of trading fees. And guys, the longer users lock up the cake tokens, the more they earn, encouraging long-term commitment. And guys, PancakeSwap also has multi-chain expansion, and PancakeSwap has expanded beyond Binance Smart Chain to operate on various blockchains, and this expansion strategy broadens its user base and increases accessibility for traders and liquidity providers. And guys, there has been significant growth in volume and market share, and monthly trading volumes have seen significant growth, indicating increased activity on the platform. And PancakeSwap, guys, has definitely been dominating the decentralized exchange world, isn't it? So essentially, guys, in summary, PancakeSwap version 3 introduces features to optimize capital usage and improve the trading experience. And so far as the tokenomics is concerned, guys, they have an ultrasound cake tokenomics, and it's clearly focusing on reducing supply and providing benefits to long-term holders. And the multi-chain strategy enhances accessibility and has resulted in substantial growth in trading volumes and market share, solidifying PancakeSwap's position in the decentralized finance system. So definitely a crucial project in the DeFi sector. Now guys, let's look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And there's not much movement, guys, so far as the price of Bitcoin is concerned. Since the last 24 hours, it is down by 0.53%, and as of today, the price of Bitcoin is $42,793. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 2.02%. Now look guys, because of the FOMC meeting, I wouldn't be surprised this is the price we would expect, at least for the first quarter, unless there's some major activity going on at a macro level. Let's see another financial giant getting into Bitcoin ETF game, or a drastic increase in the volume of spot Bitcoin ETF trading. So we'll just have to wait and see. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the government entities goes ahead and buys a lot of Bitcoin and puts it as a reserve. That will be an absolutely game changer. And I wouldn't be surprised, guys, if that thing happens. The price of Bitcoin would almost double in just a matter of 24 hours. But that is just wishful thinking. Now, so far as Ethereum is concerned, it is at $2,300. Since the last 24 hours, it is up by 0.02%. Since the last 7 days, it is up by 1.69%. Binance BNB Coin, guys, the price is $306. Since the last 24 hours, it is up by 2.26%. Since the last 7 days, it is up by 0.63%. Now look guys, there is massive news circulating right now that the US government is heading towards the closure of Bitcoin mining. Now one of the reasons why this news is circulating, guys, is because the US Department of Energy is examining the energy usage of Bitcoin mining through its agency, and the agency is called as Energy Information Administration, also called as EIA. And over the next 6 months, the EIA will collect data on electricity consumptions from selected US-based Bitcoin miners following an emergency request. And this, to be honest guys, does not seem good, isn't it? And this has caused a lot of concern, guys, because this information could influence potentially adverse policies given the current administration's critical stance on cryptocurrencies. And look guys, now BlackRock is in the Bitcoin game as well, isn't it? And the whole hype regarding ESG is only driven because of BlackRock. So I wouldn't be surprised if you do find some policies keeping in mind the whole ESG notion. Now so far as EIA is concerned, the Energy Information Administration claims to be policy neutral and states that the collected data will inform decision over the next 6 months without taking a specific stance. Now listen guys, knowing the history of left-leaning administration, I wouldn't be surprised if this particular research is catered only towards the political gains, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now let me go ahead and share some bits and pieces of information regarding this news, guys, because this news, guys, could have a massive impact on the future of Bitcoin as well. So let me go ahead and delve into this in a bit more detail, because the US Department of Energy is currently delving into the world of Bitcoin mining with a specific focus on energy consumption associated within this process. And the Energy Information Administration, which is a branch of the DOE, is responsible for statistical data. And here's the scariest bit, guys. They have initiated an emergency data collection effort, and this move has triggered concerns among the cryptocurrency community, as the current administration, that is Joe Biden, has been vocal about its cautious stance towards digital currencies. Now the urgency behind this data collection stems from the recent surge in cryptocurrency prices, particularly of Bitcoin, isn't it, which has seen a substantial increase in the value. And the EIA anticipates that this surge could incentivize more crypto mining activity, leading to heightened electricity consumption. And the agency has expressed concerns about the potential public harm arising from crypto mining activities, providing the justification for this emergency data collection. Now the survey that they are going to do is set to span across over 6 months, aiming to collect information from approximately 82 crypto-related companies operating around 150 facilities around the United States of America. And the question posed in the survey covers various aspects of mining operations, including details about the types of mining chips used, electricity consumption within facilities, and the source of energy powering these operations. And guys, the timing of the survey has raised a lot of eyebrows, especially against the backdrop of the extreme left-leaning Biden administration's commitment to reducing country's carbon footprint. And guys, Senator Elizabeth Warren has also urged federal regulators to require disclosure of emission and energy used by crypto miners. Now, keeping all these things in mind, guys, I'm pretty much sure that the Energy Information Administration, also called as EIA, will definitely try to cater towards their needs, isn't it? And guys, the survey also comes amid broader discussion on the environmental impact of Bitcoin mining, with divergent opinions on whether it is a detriment or a potential force for positive change. Now listen guys, at this point of time, we already know that Bitcoin mining involves solving complex cryptographic puzzle or process which is known as proof of work, isn't it, which is designed to secure the network. Now, some critics argue that the energy expended in this process is wasteful, but proponents contend that it will serve as a purpose by providing security to the network. Now listen guys, the overarching goal of this survey is to understand the costs and benefits associated with Bitcoin mining. However, there is skepticism within the cryptocurrency industry that the survey may already predispose towards certain conclusions about the risk Bitcoin poses to the public. And as debates around the environmental impact on cryptocurrencies continue to evolve, this survey is poised to become a focal point in shaping the future policies and perceptions surrounding crypto mining industry in the United States. Now look guys, my biggest worry is that of BlackRock, because BlackRock is such a giant and a lot of the Bitcoin holders are directly or indirectly owned by BlackRock. Now could it be possible that BlackRock has the power to go ahead and change the underlying consensus mechanism of Bitcoin from proof of work to proof of stake? Knowing the notorious history of BlackRock, I wouldn't be surprised if they definitely go ahead and do that. Now guys, let's discuss some news all the way from Thailand. And guys, the Security and Exchange Commission of Thailand has issued a directive instructing the temporary suspension of digital asset trading and brokerage services by cryptocurrency exchange ZipMax. And in an announcement that happened on 2nd of February, the Security and Exchange Commission of Thailand specified that ZipMax has a 15-day window to rectify its financial position and address operational deficiencies in accordance with prior orders from the regulatory body. And once the specified requirements are met, the crypto exchange will be permitted to resume its regular operations, ensuring that users have the ability to withdraw their funds during this period. So definitely not ideal. Now look guys, it's so critical when you talk about centralized exchanges. They do follow the instructions given by the Security and Exchange Commission, because the role of the Security and Exchange Commission from all countries is just one thing: to protect investors, and more importantly, their goal is to go out and protect the customers, because a lot of the funds could be notoriously being misplaced. Those are my honest thoughts. Now guys, let's discuss some drama in the world of Binance, and hopefully 2024 is not the worst year for Binance once again. Was what happened guys, a repository on GitHub containing sensitive information related to Binance such as code, passwords and infrastructure diagrams was actually discovered to be publicly accessible for several months, and following a takedown request, Binance successfully had the data removed, and the company guys stated that the exposed information presented minimal risks to user security, asset safety and platform integrity. Now, despite no evidence of malicious access or use, the data's value could potentially attract hackers interested in targeting Binance's system. Now, the official news guys is actually published via 404 media channel. Now, so far as this news is concerned guys, having the code open seems to be fine, but so far as password is open, that could be potentially used in the near future unless they go ahead and immediately change the passwords. But could it be possible that hackers who had access to this information, they would have already gone ahead and changed it and used it for notorious activities? Definitely possible, isn't it? Now guys, let's discuss some news, and this once again has to do with the US Security and Exchange Commission, and they're going after the founder of American Bitcoin Academy, that is Brian Sowell, because he's being charged by the Security and Exchange Commission for a $1.2 million fraud. And Brian Sowell guys has allegedly deceived 15 students into investing in his Rockwell fund, promising impressive returns through AI-driven hedge fund strategies in the cryptocurrency market. Now, the SEC claims that these promises were a fraudulent scheme, and investigations actually revealed guys that Brian Sowell never launched the fund itself, nor even implemented the advanced technologies he flaunted. Absolutely scary and spooky stuff, isn't it? And the SEC has alleged guys that the 15 students lured by Sowell had invested $1.2 million into non-existent hedge funds. Now listen guys, this is absolutely scary to be honest, because what Brian Sowell could have done, he could have invested this $1.2 million into Bitcoin when the price was $20,000 or $30,000, isn't it? Now the price is appreciated. He could have gone ahead and sold a lot of the Bitcoin. He could have profited from it. And guess what, guys? He could have returned it to the 15 students as well, isn't it? Those are my crazy thoughts, but reality would be completely different, I guess. So those were the news, guys, from the cryptocurrency world. Now let's look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news, guys, has to do with Metaverse. And the news is that Landvault has appointed Vice President of Metaverse to propel Middle East expansion. So let me go ahead and share some news, because Landvault, guys, is a virtual experience developer, and they have appointed Mohammed Khalifa as Vice President of Metaverse for Middle East expansion. And Khalifa's background, guys, includes serving as CTO for blockchain and game studios, and he has expertise in technology, gaming and decentralized systems. And Mohammed Khalifa has contributed to projects like Dubai Expo 2020, Metaverse Expo, PUBG, Avatar 2 and Sensorium Galaxy Metaverse. And Landvault, guys, is known for creating immersive virtual experiences for brands like Abu Dhabi Government, MasterCard and Hershey. And to be honest, guys, in my Metaverse Everything podcast, I might have covered this company at least 7 to 8 times, maybe even more. And guys, Landvault expanded into UAE in 2023 and is investing significantly in the region. And Mohammed Khalifa's role involves crafting Metaverse experiences that blend technology with user-friendly accessibility. And Landvault, guys, has collaborated with local governments, and undisclosed projects have been set to reveal in Q1 and Q2 of 2024. And Mohammed Khalifa, guys, aims to create easily accessible Metaverse experiences without third-party installations, and he is dedicated to developing tools that empower users to shape the Metaverse experiences. And Landvault's Metera protocol enhances seamless movement of characters and assets across diverse virtual worlds, and Khalifa, guys, emphasizes interoperability, illustrating how individuals can tokenize and mint out as NFTs in Metaverse Art Gallery. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, how this whole interoperability works, because to be honest, guys, interoperability is not a big thing. In 2024, the advancements and technological changes taking place, interoperability is a granted feature, a must-have even for new projects. Now, so far as Khalifa's interest is concerned, his interest in Metaverse aligns with Landvault's commitment to innovation and transformative experiences. And Samuel Huber, the CEO of Landvault, expresses anticipation for Khalifa's innovative advancements in the Metaverse space. And Mohammed Khalifa's commitment to remaining at the forefront of technological advancements is evident through his exploration of emerging technologies. And Landvault's expansion, guys, includes collaboration with government, real estate firms and undisclosed projects in 2024. And Mohammed Khalifa's role includes crafting top-tier Metaverse engineered experiences for Landvault, and Landvault, guys, pioneers technological advancements in GCC region and is aiming to provide enjoyable and accessible Metaverse experience for everyone. And as I mentioned earlier, guys, I might have covered Landvault at least 7 to 8 times in my Metaverse Everything podcast. Now, all these things being said, guys, it's really important to understand that when we talk about Metaverse, the experience in Metaverse has to be 10 times better than what we are currently experiencing. Just switching experiences into Metaverse will just not cut it. Not focusing on a 10x better user experience is a recipe for disaster in my honest opinion. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the whole narrative of Metaverse is. Now, guys, let's discuss the second news, and this is to do with the 17th Middle East CIO Summit. So let me go ahead and share what this news is all about, because IDC, guys, is partnering with EN, which is the new name for Etisalat, as the host partners of the IDC Middle East CIO Summit 2024. And the summit, guys, is scheduled for February 2021 to 2022 in Dubai, and it is titled The Future of IT, Rethinking Digitization for an AI Everywhere World. And Jyoti Lajdani, IDC's Group VP, expresses excitement about welcoming EN as a host partner for the event. And the CIO Summit, guys, has been a preferred platform for industry leaders in the Middle East for 17 years, and the event aims to empower ICT ecosystem for evolving in the digital era with EN and other partners. And generative artificial intelligence is a key agenda item, unleashing disruption across industries. And expert speakers will share the best practice strategies for various critical technologies shaping transformation. And the summit, guys, explores the evolving role of IT leaders in an increasingly AI-infused landscape. And Miguel Wilunganga, CEO of EN Enterprise Cloud, emphasizes the commitment to driving digital transformation in the region. And EN, guys, sees its role as an honor to lead discussions shaping the future of IT with a focus on artificial intelligence. And the IDC Middle East CIO Summit 2024 promises an immersive experience with influential tech leaders and visionaries. And discussion, guys, would be around topics such as digital infrastructure, development operation strategies, predictive analytics, and enterprise IT transformation. And guys, the agenda session includes low-code, no-code platforms, omni-experience transformation, cybersecurity and compliance, and other topics comprise technology via trends, application modernization, AI and the tech revolution, and hybrid cloud deployment, and even a session on sustainability, digital resilience, and technical architectures for success. And IDC, guys, is a global provider of market intelligence, advisory services, and events for IT, telecom, and consumer technologies market. And IDC has over 1,300 analysts worldwide, offering expertise on technology trends in over 110 countries. And IDC ME has offices in various locations, and they provide unparalleled market intelligence services from Middle East, Turkey, and Africa as well. So definitely a must event to attend, to be honest. So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee Date from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, there's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and metaverse. So let's kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, metaverse. I have a question by Rashmi who asks, how can tokenization be different, let's say, to other coins and NFTs? Now what I plan to do is, Rashmi, I plan to release a standalone episode on what tokenization is, because it's going to be really hard to give full depth information on what tokenization is in the Ask Me Anything series, so stay tuned for that episode. Now, one of the reasons why there's so much hype regarding tokenization is because Larry Fink, in one of the interviews with CNBC, did actually state that Bitcoin is just a digital asset and the future is tokenization, and because of that, lately I'm seeing so many news regarding tokenization, and I very specifically remember, Rashmi, the moment I found out that news, I did actually anticipate loads of articles via LinkedIn circulating regarding tokenization. Now, in a nutshell, Rashmi, tokenization will be legally backed and relatively safer, let's say, to smart contracts or cryptocurrencies, and the ideal terminology will be called as STO, or security token offerings. Now, you can compare it, let's say, with NFTs. The only difference with NFTs is the NFTs are non-fungible, but in case of security token offerings, all of the coin could be fungible and it could be legally backed as well. So let's say in case of real estate, let's say if there is a property, and if you were to tokenize the physical property, let's say by 1 feet by 1 feet, put it onto the blockchain, what you essentially can do is you can be a part owner of just 1 feet using just tokenomics, and what you can do is you can sell it in the secondary market, so on and so forth. But this is the big problem I see, in that it has to be legally backed. And listen, if you're backing it legally, I'm not sure how that merges with open blockchain, because you need to do KYC, you need to do anti-money laundering, you need to do quite a lot of things. It can still be done on open blockchain, but the current terminology will be that only the ownership is recorded on open blockchain. The rest, everything is done legally and compliant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release a standalone episode explaining what tokenization is and focusing more on security token offerings, which is different, let's say, to what NFT is. So I'll go ahead and do that. And the thing with security token offering, and I'm pretty much sure I mentioned this in my Ask Me Anything series as well, was before the NFT hype, there was anticipation that security token offering might be the next big hype, and they were actually comparing STOs or security token offerings to initial coin offerings, and they were anticipating security token offerings to be 90 times or 90% bigger than the whole ICO hype. But with BlackRock getting into the game, I'm pretty much sure there is a possibility. So what I'd recommend you to do is, Rashmi, stay tuned to the episode that I release. I'll most likely release it in the next couple of weeks, and that would give you a full idea of what tokenization is and how do they actually differ to cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and other shit coins. So stay tuned to that episode. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And guys, if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes under Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East, and the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.